Good day, everybody. I am Daniel. I'm a BIM coordinator from Belgium, and I'm going to take you to my world and explain you the 5 BIM key tasks of a BIM coordinator from the contractor's point of view in Belgium. It's a very important thing. Now, as I said, I'm a BIM coordinator from Belgium. I work for Houben, it's a construction company. It was founded in 1932 as a family business and still is a family business. At this time we have over more than 200 employees. We have a nice revenue, so a healthy company. We have the Class 8D recognition, which means for my job, very big project, so very interesting. And the main focus of the company is quality and innovation. Now, before I start with the 5 key tasks, I want to explain you what the goal is of the BIM department within Houben. So what do we want to do? Standardization and connectivity for increased efficiency and productivity in all our departments. What does that mean? We don't believe in being an isolated island within the Houben company. What we want to do is we want to have the connectivity with all the departments within Houben. And to do that, we need standardization just to increase the efficiency and the productivity. So this line or this goal is very important because I'm going to get back to it during my presentation. So without further ado, let us begin with my... my 5 key tasks. So the first one is collecting data. Now, when you are from the beginning involved in the project, as we call design and build, you can collect data by attending the BIM kickoff meetings. You can use the BEP, or the execution plan, or the BIM protocol, just to guide your project partners to model like you want them to be. But what if you are not involved from the beginning? And I can tell you, for most of the projects in Belgium, that is the case. We are not involved in the design process. So how do we get the information at that point? I'm going to get back to this later on during the presentation. The second point is generating, second task rather, is generating 3D models. Now, as a BIM coordinator, for me it's an obvious one, is making coordination models. Why? For clash detection, of course, and for visualization purposes. But remember what I said, we want to have the connectivity with all the departments within Houben. So next to the coordination model, we also get or make enriched models. Because we believe that all departments and all the people within those departments should be able to work independently with the BIM models. So it's very important. How do we make those enriched models? Also something that I'm going to come back later on this presentation. The third one is something I'm going to get very quick with this one, analyzing 3D models. What does mean is clash detection. We also use Sorby with the rule sets to get the clashes, and we make slides for our presentation. The slides then have all the issues that we can communicate. So this is the third key task. And now for the fourth key task is the most important one, I think, for me personally. It's communication. Now we have internal and external communication. For me, external communication is collaboration with all project partners. But internal communication, when we do clash detection, we make BCF files and we give them to the people that want them for visualization of the clashes. But the second one is very important. We will provide a detailed health check from our supplied 3D models to our calculation department. So this is the first step to have that connectivity. So this being said, let us go back to our first key task, yes, is when you are not involved in the design process, how do you get the information then? Now, to understand this, I want to explain something. Because we are a very small BIM team within Houben, we are only 6 people, we don't have the luxury to get all the received models and transform them from zero to new models. So we have to find a way to work with the received models and to, when I say work with the received models, to get them to deliver them to our other departments. So we ask ourselves a question: how can we link the quality of the received models to the time needed to make enriched models out of them? That's a very big question. And the answer is the health check. So the health check is something that we realized that we made, and the health check itself is based on the BIM IDS guidelines, so the information delivery guidelines. So what do? We take the most important guidelines for us, we put some points to each guideline, and at the end of the health check, you will have an overall score that gives us an idea of how much time we need to make enriched model out of that received model. At the end of the health check, you also have the detailed health check that I was talking about earlier on, that we will give to our calculation department. And in that health check report, you have 2 important things. First of all, we give an overview of what we can enrich and the time needed to enrich using Simple BIM. It's the first software that we use for enrichment and for connectivity. And the second one is an overview of how the existing or the added information can be displayed and used using Kabandi. Now I'm going to say something about those 2 software packages. Simple BIM, I think a lot of people know what Simple BIM is. It's open BIM software application used for data management, cleaning up, standardizing and enriching 3D models. So in the beginning I said we want connectivity, and we want to have that connectivity with standardization. So we are not just going to enrich all those models by adding data. No, what we want to do is create our own property set with our own properties and adding the data to those, or values to those created properties. So why is that important? When we create our own property set and we deliver the enriched model to our calculation department, we can say all information that you need is always on the same location. So that is why we use standardization. Now, just to have a quick example. So you see here a little model that we received from VK Engineering. It's a company that we are working with. And I selected, this is a model inside of Simple BIM. And I selected all the beams, and I used a filter to look for all the Houben or the HBN parameters. So as you can see here, there are no parameters from Houben, no properties from Houben. Now the second image is the same model. I checked also again a beam. But now we applied our HBN or Houben templates into Simple BIM. I used the same filter, and now you can see that we have some Houben or HBN properties with value. And for that, we are using some templates from some Simple BIM templates. Now, what I say is we want to have the connectivity. I cannot repeat that enough. But if you want all departments to work with the non-BIM users to work with BIM models, you need to have a software that they can use that is easy to use and easy to understand, strong in visualization of those models, and because we give the models to our calculation department, the main focus should be on the generating of the quantities. And we found that software, and this is Kabandi. Now, Kabandi is a cloud-based software made in Belgium. This is very important because the people that made that software understand the problems that we encounter during the production or the construction phase. So just to give you an example, this is an image from Kabandi, the same model again, the same selection of a beam, and what you will see is the example of standardization. You will have the ILS, the IDS translated, IDS Houben, so those are all our parameters that we use for the calculation department. So I said you need software that is easy to use and easy to understand. So I made just a quick video to show you how easy it is to use. So this is also again Kabandi. So when we enrich the model with the filter capability, you can look for the HBN parameters, of course. When you get the parameter or the information that you want, you will see immediately what is. So the visualization is very strong. And with one click of the bottom there on the volume, you can have the amount of cubic meters of all the selected beams. So this is very easy, very smart thing to do. Now the second one, because it's the calculation department, they need to get quantities out of the model. And most of the time we get the model and we get a 2D quantity bill, quantities with the models. So what the first job that they can do in the department, of the calculation department, is comparing the 2D data with the 3D data. And this is what I'm going to show you in this little video very shortly. So it's the same model. So when we go back, we will start what they call a board. Yeah? And then I'm going to pause this one. So what do we see here? You see the 2D measurement state integrated into the model just by copy-paste, so it's not a lot of work. And I have a column, quantity 2D and a quantity 3D column. So the 2D quantity is coming from the 2D quantity state. And what they will do now is go back to the model using this button. So what you will see is you have a connection between the 3D model and the board or the quantity state. So using again the filter system to get the elements that you want. This is what he's going to do here. Yeah. So now it's the same that I showed in the previous one. You have the volume, yeah, and now you go back to the board and you will see the volume coming into this thing. And you can say, okay or not okay. So it's an easy way to compare 2D with 3D information. Now, I talked about 4 of the 5 key tasks. And the 5th one for me is production. So what does that mean for me? Is if you implement the first 4 key tasks, you will get to a smoother, or you will be the one that is helping the people on site to a smooth building process. And for me, this is the 5th element of my job, is helping the people on site for a smooth building process. So this is my presentation.